Without a doubt, 2023 was a rough year in the real estate market. Home prices remained stubbornly high and mortgage rates soared to over 8%. That was enough to cause many, including possibly yourself, to put their home buying plans on hold. But 2024 is here and it's a new year. And even though buyers received the gift of falling mortgage rates at the end of the year, questions remain about where both mortgage rates and home prices are heading in the new year. So in this video, I'm going to share the latest information on both home prices and mortgage rates with you. And make sure you stick around to the end as I'm going to reveal where you can find the absolute best buying opportunities in today's market. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty in Frisco, Texas. And if you're one of those people that were planning on buying a home, put your search on hold, just wanted to wait and see where everything was heading, first and foremost, I don't blame you. Things got really, really crazy overall. And one of the problems is that there's so much noise out there. There's information coming from everyone and their brother. This time last year, forecasts about home prices were all over the board. Expectations of a real estate market crash were everywhere. Obviously, that didn't happen. So questions remain. Where are home prices heading and what are mortgage rates going to do? And how do you cut through all of the noise in order to make the decision that's best for you and your family? Well, today I'm going to share with you the latest information that I have with you to help bring a little bit of clarity. So first and foremost, with regards to home prices, the information I'm going to show you in just a moment is from the Home Price Expectation Survey, which is put out by Fannie Mae. So why the Home Price Expectation Survey? Well, the thing I like about that is rather than just relying on one source, the Home Price Expectation Survey actually they survey over 100 different economists, real estate experts, investment and market strategists. And what they do is they compile all of that data, they average it all out, and then they publish it. So you're getting a broad brushed consensus, if you like, on what the experts think that the real estate market is going to do. Now here on this chart that we're looking at, this is the home price for performance on what they expect prices to do, looking at December to December. So as you can see, in 2024, the forecast is showing for increases of a little bit over 2%, a little bit more than that, just under 3% in 25, and then appreciation picking up in 26, 27, and 28. Now, obviously, nobody knows for sure. We've already seen that, right? And no matter what, and I'm sure I'll get comments on this video saying, you're completely wrong, this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. Got to be honest, I wish I had the data that those people have because it's pure speculation. And while we don't know for sure exactly what is going to happen, what I can tell you is there is absolutely nothing anywhere in the data whatsoever to suggest that home prices are going to tank or crater whatsoever. Now, I can tell you, if we look at the local markets here, what happened in 2023? Well, in Frisco, for instance, the median home price year over year was down 1%. Right? Which is about where we thought it was going to be, relatively flat or down a little. That is looking December to December. If we look at just the calendar year, prices in Frisco were actually up 1% going January to December. Now, if we look at Prosper, it's a completely different story. In Prosper, year over year, prices are up 15.4%. 15.4. It's right next door to Frisco. It just goes to show how absolutely local all real estate actually is. A lot of things influence that price. The mix of properties, the number of people, types of homes being sold, etc. If we look at year to date in Prosper, they were still up 13% for the calendar year. So again, I wanted to point that out just to say when you see these numbers on the news, that doesn't necessarily mean it is what is happening in the market that is of most interest to you. The best way to stay informed on what is going on in the local market is with my weekly market update. This report breaks everything down with returns to supply, prices, you name it, by zip code or by city. So I've got a link in the description below to that market report, so feel free to check it out. The link's going to take you to the Frisco report, but at the top there's a search bar. And from that search bar, you can look up any or city or zip code in the entire country. The data is all there, so you can track the market that is most of interest to you. Now, before I move on to mortgage rates, I just want to point out for anyone that is talking about home prices coming down, home prices themselves are basically determined by the balance or imbalance between supply relative to demand. And one of the things that kept the market down in 2023 was constrained supply. Now, let's think about it. If you currently own a home and you're locked in at a mortgage rate of about 3%, and mortgage rates jump to 7.5, or 8%, why are you going to sell? Doesn't make any sense. Why are you going to trade in that rate and then go buy a new home at an 8% rate or a 7.5% rate? And the bottom line is you're not. It doesn't make any sense, and people didn't do it. So, one of the things that was forecast when all of the experts were forecasting prices to decline was that supply would increase, and it didn't. Supply actually decreased. Now, the good news is, as we go forward, the good news is supply is increasing. There's more listings now coming on the market as far as new listings than there were a year ago. And again, some will say, well, that's evidence that prices are going to fall relative to demand in 2024. But again, perspective is needed. So if I look at our local markets, although new listings are up, in Frisco, supply is down 58.7% year over year, more than half, right? So 58.7% down. In Prosper, it's even more dramatic. Supply in Prosper is down 71.6% year over year. So again, supply has a long way to go in order to outpace demand. And with mortgage rates, as I mentioned, they did move down over the holiday period and are currently sitting in right around 6.6%, depending on your credit score and the loan program. So as mortgage rates fall, what do you think is going to happen to demand? Yeah, it's going to go up. The buyers that have been sitting on the sideline that couldn't do anything at 7.5, 8%, are suddenly going to start moving back into the market. So demand relative to supply is the reason the home price expectation survey is forecasting prices to increase. Now, I don't think here in Frisco, Prosper, the immediate surrounding areas, we're going to see runaway price appreciation like we did a couple of years ago. But all the signs are, the early indicators are that pricing is going to continue going up. We already know that pricing in the first quarter is not going down. It's actually going up. How do we know that? We look at the homes that are under contract. Those are the homes that are going to be closing in March or April. We can see those homes, or late February, I should say. We can see where the pricing on those homes is currently. All right. So when we look at mortgage rates, where are mortgage rates heading? Right. Now, there was a lot of economic uncertainty last year, which is one of the things that pushed mortgage rates up. But inflation is what drives mortgage rates more than people tend to think. If you go back and look historically at what mortgage rates have done, they've actually followed inflation. And as we know, the inflation numbers continue to come down, which is absolutely great news. Is there still economic uncertainty? Absolutely. We don't know exactly what's going to happen in the economy, but I can say that the latest labor numbers that were just released in the past couple of days show that job creation is still there. For December, it came in stronger than expected, and the number of new unemployment claims continued to fall. So right now, there is nothing to indicate that things on that side of the equation are going to start moving out of balance. Now, when inflation cools, mortgage rates cooled, as I mentioned, and Danielle Hale, the chief economist at Realtor.com, recently said mortgage rates will continue to ease in 2024 as inflation improves and the Fed rate cuts get closer. A key factor in starting to provide affordability relief to potential home buyers. And that goes on also in an article from the National Association of Realtors. They mentioned that mortgage rates likely have peaked and are now falling from their recent highs of nearly 8%. This likely will improve housing affordability and entice more home buyers to return to the market, which is what I mentioned just a few moments ago with regard to demand. Where will they end up this year? It remains to be seen. I can tell you that almost everything I have seen are showing rates by the end of this year being right around 6%. There's a few saying high fives, but we'll have to wait and see. But somewhere right around 6%. I think it depends on what happens with inflation and how aggressive or how quickly the Fed starts cutting rates overall itself. So now, thank you for sticking around. If you're still here, where can you get the absolute best opportunity if you're looking to buy? And to be honest with you, in our local markets here, it's new construction, specifically quick move in new construction homes. Right now, the saving grace in our market and the reason we didn't see prices escalate more overall in Frisco, Prosper, and the surrounding areas is because of the amount of new construction we have. New builders were able to bring the supply necessary to satisfy demand. And I can tell you that new home sales continue at a very strong pace overall. But saying that, the builders don't want to get stuck with inventory on their hand. We've recently had a couple of situations where we were able to get a rate buy down and $50,000 off of the price from the builder on a home that was going to be ready for move-in within 30 days. Those are the absolute best opportunities in today's marketplace. Now, if you found value in this video, I invite you to hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe to this channel because each and every week I bring you new videos. And I also feature quite a lot of those properties that the builders are trying to move and are offering incentives on. And if you have questions about that, please go ahead and schedule a call. My information is up on the screen now, and in the description below, I've also included a link to my calendar where you can schedule the call, and I'd be happy to talk your situation through in more detail and help you put the plan together to help with your home purchase goals in 2024. So I wish you a very happy new year, and please stick around and enjoy one of these videos coming up next.